Last night it sounded like a fuselage of shotgun shells going off around the entire neighborhood.
Power problems, the fight to get Metro Detroit back on the grid as residents struggle to clean up the mess. Winds and overnight freezing.
That's right, Christy. We are going to have high winds. Temperatures will be dropping tonight, so our power problems are far from over. I'll have your forecast coming up.
And flu fears, the first child death reported in Michigan linked to the virus. How to keep your kids safe. Plus,
there's something very special when you can actually learn history from a history maker. I'm going to introduce you to the Black Knight and this young man.
Live from downtown Detroit, Local 4 News First at 4 starts now.
first it was the ice, then power outages, and now fog and wind. A triple threat of trouble for crews trying to get Metro Detroiters back on the grid. Good afternoon, and thanks so much for joining us. I'm Christy McDonald in for Karen Drew today. Right now, hundreds of thousands of residents are still without power and could stay in the dark throughout the weekend. And that is despite 400 out-of-state crews trying to help the 1,500 local employees already working on the downed lines. The current weather conditions aren't helping out, which means many kids could be out of school once again tomorrow, a fact that is stressing parents across Metro Detroit. Meantime, cleanup crews are also working around the clock today, and that thick layer of ice weighing down not only power lines, but tree limbs too. The situation is keeping Michigan State Police on their toes. This evening, troopers shifting their attention from icy roads to the fog and storm debris, causing a lot of problems for drivers out there. And those same conditions are also causing some problems for travelers at Detroit Metro Airport. But conditions have improved throughout the day. Taking a live look outside at the airport and in Ann Arbor, we can still see that fog is hanging around a bit, but a bigger problem is rolling into town now. Let's head over to Kim Adams for the first look at our forecast. So much here, Kim.
There's a lot to unpack, but we are trading one problem for another. So we had some fog this afternoon. Now that we're getting higher winds, that's going to eliminate the fog. So we can kind of scratch fog off of our list over the next hour. But the winds are more of a concern than that fog is. They will be picking up, gusting anywhere from 30 to maybe even 40 miles per hour. Now let's talk about the temperatures, because it's been a slow climb this morning, but finally temperatures are getting into the 40s this afternoon. It is 47 in Grosse Ile, 42 Metro, 43 City Airport. Still cooler north of I-94, though. Only 36 in Mount Clemens, mid-30s in Pontiac. So the warm air will continue to move its way north. Highest wind gusts right now, a lot of areas not reporting. These METAR sites are they're getting the ice conditions as well. But we have had gusts upwards of 28 to 30 miles per hour, and we'll continue to see that increase over the next several hours. So here we are at 4 o'clock. Wind gusts continue out of the west about 25 to 30 miles per hour, getting even stronger than that as we go into 7 o'clock, and by 9 o'clock, still those 30-mile-per-hour winds. Lots of people still without power, and temperatures tonight are going to be dropping into the teens. So we'll talk more about that issue coming up in the forecast.
All right, Kim, we'll see you in just a couple of minutes. It is currently unclear when power will be restored as DTE Energy workers try to better assess the damage. This afternoon, DTE has been updating us all along about their plans to get electricity restored here in the area, but their message about safety really remains clear.
We're in the midst of an historic ice storm, one that we have not seen in Michigan for over 50 years. It's an extremely dangerous condition right now that we have, and the most important thing is making sure that the public understands that. If you have an outage, our request today is please stay inside.
We are waiting for an update from DTE any moment now, and we'll have that for you on local news at 5 o'clock today. Of course, we have crews all over Metro Detroit talking to residents about the problem that they're seeing. Sean Lay is live in Bloomfield Township, where things, wow, they're really still a mess at this hour. Sean?
Christy, I hope people can see this melt that's going on. This is the melt, and it is pretty impressive because it feels like we're in a rainstorm. That's ice melting off the trees and power lines. And then at times here, when the wind blows, we're getting big chunks of ice coming off of those trees. Pretty wild here. Here's where we are. Bloomfield Township here. Cranbrook is the road. That's Seaholm High School in Birmingham right across the street there. Birmingham right across there, and the neighborhoods continuing on that way. They've got power. But right across the street, this is an area that is usually hard hit with outages. But ice big time here, bringing down half of this tree, and you can see the lines. This tree's still on those lines, and that is what we are seeing all over Bloomfield Township. Let's go to the video. We've been all over, street by street. We have been looking at branches that are down, trees that are down. If you look here, we have DTE workers. They're actually on foot here in Bloomfield Township because they're going house by house assessing. They're looking for the exact problems, the down lines, so they can pinpoint and then get crews over to those particular down lines. Also, here we're hearing lots of generators. People say in this township they've lost power so often that they went out and got a generator. Some people just got one a few weeks ago to keep the power on. Now, others using a fireplace to stay warm. Here's one couple that is riding out this ice storm.
We've been using the fireplace to maintain some heat in a small part of the house.
You're not surprised you don't have power?
I am surprised that it's out the way they're talking now, that they could go until even Sunday for restorations.
Until Sunday for restoration, maybe by the end of Sunday, as we look for those updates from DTE. Look, Christy, we put drone 4 up. We're going to show you the footage at 5 o'clock. It really shows the ice on the lines, the ice on the trees, and also DTE workers in the buckets going up to start that dangerous work of restoring power to some areas. Back to you.
Yeah, it's a lot of work out there, Sean, and we even see the ice that is melting in front of you and dripping down. Thanks so much for the live report. We'll see you at 5 o'clock today. Well, the Secretary of State also running into some power problems today, forcing the shutdown of a handful of offices. Residents and staff are being redirected for nearby offices for the day. All right, whether you are dealing with the wind or trying to figure out how cold it's going to get without power tonight, make sure you download the Forewarn Weather app to get interactive radar and weather alerts right there in the palm of your hand. It really helps out. All right, now on to some good news. One of the 5 students injured in the shooting at Michigan State University has been released from the hospital. That news is coming to us from Sparrow Hospital in Lansing. As of tonight, 1 student remains in critical condition, 2 are in serious but stable condition, and 1 is in fair condition. We will continue to update you on the situation as those new updates come in. Well, the state is reporting the first death of a child in Michigan from the flu this season. The child is from Ingham County. Now, nationally, 111 children have died from flu-related illnesses, and the state is now reminding everyone it is not too late to get the flu shot. They recommend that children 6 months and older get 2 doses for their first series. Transportation Secretary Pete Buttigieg is touring the toxic train derailment site in East Palestine, Ohio today. Officials from the National Transportation Safety Board, the Federal Railroad Administration, and the Pipeline and Hazardous Materials Safety Administration joined him there today. They are looking at the 11 tank cars that overturned on February 3rd, sparking a massive fire in a trench between 2 rails. This evening, Buttigieg has a message for those impacted by this disaster.
I want them to know they're not alone, that before, during, and after the national attention, they're going to have support. They're going to have support from us when it comes to holding Norfolk Southern accountable. They're going to have support from the EPA when it comes to making sure they get accurate information about the safety of their air, water, and soil. And I think they can have support, they ought to have support from a whole country that has seen what they've been through.
And that is an ongoing mess there. So far, the NTSB has examined 23 of the train's cars, as well as local surveillance video, and it appears an overheated wheel bearing could be to blame for that wreck there. Also making news today, singer R. Kelly learned he will serve 1 additional year in prison for producing child pornography and enticing a minor to engage in criminal sexual activity. That time will be served on top of the 30-year sentence he is already facing for sex trafficking. Kelly is now 56 years old and could be locked up until he's in his late 70s. This case is the culmination of nearly 3 decades of allegations that Kelly had sexually abused underage girls. Well, tomorrow marks a full year since the Russian invasion of Ukraine. Millions of families were forced from their homes by the war, and the refugee crisis is ongoing. Every day, nearly 20,000 refugees are streaming into Poland, and there is concern that number will only increase. Today, Vladimir Putin once again said nuclear weapons could be an option at some point in this fight. And that announcement coming just 4 days after President Biden made a surprise visit to Ukraine, promising continued support as this war extends into its 2nd year. A life of excellence and service and a place in history right here in Metro Detroit, as the oldest living Black graduate of West Point shares his story. Appointed by none other than Congressman John Dingell, Paula Tutman introduces us to the author of The Black Knight, who remains wise beyond his years.
So the title of the book is The Black Knight, an African-American family's journey from West Point, a life of duty, honor, and country, by Clifford Worthy. That's Clifford Worthy right there, by the way. But now I'm going to introduce you to Clifford Worthy today. That young man is now this elder gentleman, 95 years old in March.
I'm the oldest living Black West Point graduate.
How do you know that, Mr. Worthy?
I've got the register that has a name in it and everything of every kid that's ever graduated.
His memory is strong and crisp.
But when I got to West Point, there may have been some things, people there that didn't want me there, but they sure didn't show it.
The trouble he saw was away from the academy during a time of deep Jim Crowism almost everywhere he went. A young man learning to serve his nation, advancing the ranks, breaking barriers. Off campus, he has many a story to tell of what it was like back then. Like the time he went into a restaurant.
When I walked in that place, the place went dead silent, quiet. Every man in the restaurant got up, everyone. Got in my car, and then I noticed all these bright lights behind me as I got in my car. Every white person there, they drove pickup trucks a lot back in those days. They still do, I guess. They got in this truck, and they were following me out. Went on until I had to turn off, and when I turned off, they turned around and went back.
The point of the story is that he says this is part of our history he fears is being suppressed.
You can't just say, no, we're not going to tell them about slavery or some of the other things that went on. But you can't do that. But there's a lot of energy now says, you probably know better than I do, that says that they would like not to use certain books, not like to do certain things.
In his long and storied life, he has stood out amongst his peers, worked as a speechwriter when he was a military assistant, received a master's in mechanical engineering, worked at the Pentagon and with NATO. And if you look closely in his eyes and in his smile, you see the face of the daughter he raised, Wayne County prosecutor Kim Worthy, who led the first ever conviction in the nation of officers for killing an unarmed Black man. But it is the young people he wants to still address and ask them to be open to opportunities, particularly opportunities to break barriers and serve this nation. And of course, you can buy a copy of the book on Amazon or Barnes & Noble or wherever you get your books. This is a family who makes history. Paula Tutman, Local 4.
They absolutely do. Mr. Worthy will be 95 years old in March.